Hello friends, myself Shriram. In this video, we are going to understand how do I carry out various conversions. That means when I have integer or when I have float, then when it comes to integer and float conversions, one need to understand it. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is how do I do type conversions when I have to do carry out assignments? So these are the two things that we would like to learn as part of this particular video. So let's get now going when we want to achieve this. So here now we will first understand how do I carry out integer and float conversion. So let us say that integer and float conversions. So this is what we want to focus on. So whenever we have a arithmetic operation between an integer, then it is going to yield integer only. That means integer with integer, then it's going to yield integer. Here there is no issue. Like for example, if I have say 5 minus say 2, then I can always get the answer which will be integer, which is say 3 here. So that is an integer. Similarly, if I do multiplication, if I do addition, however, if I have to do an operation between real and real, then again I am going to get answer as real. So let us say real with real. Now when I say real, the general word which is used for the decimal number or the one typically we are using it as a float. So real to real is basically real with real is going to get us the real. So these are the two things which are very easy to understand. However, when we want to have a operation which is with integer and integer, let me just put it here, integer with real, then this is going to always yield, I'm just putting it here, always real. Okay, this is very important. It's not like sometimes real or something like that. That means in the operation, whenever we have such an operation which is an arithmetic operation or where we want to have this type of combination, then the integer will be promoted to a real. So how does this happen? So this is very important point. So integer is promoted to real, or essentially it becomes float or a decimal number, and then we basically are able to do the operation, or that operation particularly is performed. So that is what happens when you have integer and float conversion. So these are the important aspects that I am just trying to cover. So let's see this with an example. Let us say that you have an operation 5 divided by 2. Now if you have an operation like 5 divided by 2, then as per the thing which are mentioned, integer with integer is going to give you integer. So this particular answer, though you think that the answer is 2.5, however, you are going to get the answer in the integer and not the real. Why? Because that's the way typically computer performs the operation. That means the result for this is going to be 2. Now if you do say 5.0 or whatever, some 5 point, I'm purposefully taking 5.0 divided by 2, then basically you will get the answer as 2.5. Why? Because 5.0 is no issue, that's a real number, and 2 will be first promoted to 2.0, and then 5.0 divided by 2.0 will be 2.5. So that's a very important point one needs to understand when we solve such problems with respect to arithmetic instructions. Similarly, if I now do, and the same thing can apply to say 5.0 divided by, say I will do basically 2.0, so obviously it's going to give us 2.5, and then 5.0 and say 5 divided by 2.0, so that is the last combination. So again it's going to do for 2.5. Why? Because now here 5 will be promoted to 5.0, and then you basically are going to get answer as 2.5. Now if I just reverse the role, that means if I have this 2 by 5, then if I do 2 by 5, then the result of this will be 0. Why? Because though you are getting it a number which is in the decimal, now obviously 2 is an integer, 5 is an integer, so result has to be integer, and that's why you will not get point something, but you are going to get 0. However, if you have 2.0 divided by 5, then you basically are going to get 0.4, and then obviously you are going to have 2 by 5.0 and then 2.0 divided by 5.0. So 2.0 divided by 5.0. So all the remaining are going to yield you zero point 0.4. So that is very important. So the way in which here you got 2.5 for this remaining two. Similarly here you are going to get zero point 0.4 for this one. Why? Because now 2 will be first promoted to 2.0, and because of that, that operation will be basically a real operation, or essentially it will be considered as a floating operation. So now the question is, how does it work? Because this is at the theory level, but how does it work when I have to do actually the assignment? So let us say that you have uh, defined a variable. So let me just use some space, and if I have defined a variable, say k, and now this variable k is an integer, so I have defined int k like this. Okay, and now I do, say for example, k is equal to 2 divided by 9. If I do it like this, then my result will be 0. Similarly, if I do k is equal to 2.0 divided by 9, then again I am going to get 0. Why? Because though this 9 will be promoted and all that, that is fine, but when it comes to assignment, this k is given as integer. So we will have these various combinations we can study, and then if I have another way of arithmetic instruction. Why? Because this is an arithmetic instruction, and here the answer will be again 0. Now if I have another way, or if I have a variable, say for example float, or a real variable essentially, and if I say answer float a, and then I use this variable a, or an answer variable, say to do 2 by 9, then my answer will be here again 0 by 0. Why 0 point 0? Why? Because 2 is an integer, 9 is integer, the right hand side evaluation is 0, rather it's an integer which is 0, and then it is assigned to a, which is a float. However, if I have a is equal to 2.0 divided by 9, then the answer will be whatever 2 by 9 is 0.22, so I will get 0.222 whatever. So like that I am going to get. So like that, if I just keep on doing, we can basically understand this working. So what we will do is, we will simply go to our Visual Studio Code, and we will just take this as an example. So let me just add a file, and here I will say type assignments, and let me just put here then we can simply write these few things. So let me just copy these things from here, so that so I defined k, integer k, and now how do I basically understand it? So let me just put breakpoint here, and we can easily understand it then for these two scenarios. So let me just do the debugging. So here if I just do the debugging, then you will see that it is waiting for my input, or it should proceed forward. So we can have here watch variable, and in the watch we will add k. Similarly, in the watch we will add a. Now you will see this k is equal to 2 by 9. So let me just uh, step out of this. So you will see k is 0. That is the important thing. This is k is equal to 0. Okay, and I should have stopped it here, but I didn't do. So let me just disconnect it and let me restart it. Okay, so here you will see k 2 by 9, the answer, that is what I told you, the answer will be 0. Then if I have k is equal to 2.0 and then 9 divided by 9, so let's execute it. So here you will see the answer is 0. Let's now go to A. Let's concentrate on A here. So if I just concentrate on A here, 2 by 9. So let's do that 2 by 9. So here the answer is 0.0. Now let me execute this line, which is 2.0 divided by 9. So you will see the answer is 0.2222. So that is what I told you. So like that, now we can basically create all these types of combinations, and then we can study. So what can be the combinations here? So let me just put it here, and it can be an homework for all of you. So what we should do is k is equal to then 2 divided by 9.0. That can be one scenario. Then k is equal to 2 by 2.0 divided by 9.0, no issues there. And then you can have 9 by 2. Now here once again the k is equal to 9 by 2. We will see this, and then k is equal to say 9.0 by 2. So let's see this now. We will see this in action. So let me just do debugging. Concentrate on the watch. So here I'm going to do step into. So k is initially 0, then k is again 0. That is correct. Now I'm going to do 9 by 2. Sorry, 9 by 0, 0, that's not an issue. 9 by 2. Now 9 by 2 this is an integer. An integer 9 divided by integer 2. So you are going to get answer as 4. Okay, so k is 4. That is what you will see here. K is equal to 4. And let me continue. So 9.0 divided by 2, and k is integer. So here once again you are going to get answer as 4. So like that you can play with all these combinations here. The another interesting thing can be basically a is equal to 9 by 2 and a is equal to 9.0 by 2 or 2.0, doesn't matter. Okay, and let's execute it. Okay, now let's concentrate on a. So a basically is what? So you basically got a 2 by 9. So obviously 2 by 9 is 0. Okay, so this is correct. Now we are at the line number 16. Okay, the 2.0 by 9.0. So here you got a is 0.22. So that is again correct. Now let's concentrate on 9 by 2. So 9 by 2 is integer 9 divided by integer 2. So we are going to get answer. So this operation is an integer operation. So we will get a is 4.0. That is the important thing. We will never get, though a is declared as float, we are not going to get a to be integer. That's a very important point. 4. The answer is not 4.5 but 4. Now let's concentrate on 9.0 divided by 2. So here what will happen? 2 will become 2.0, and then 9.0 divided by 2.0, the right hand side answer is 4.5, and since a is float, so it will become a is to be 4.5. So that's the way, that's the very important learning that we got, with respect to these scenarios, especially when you have these scenarios like 9 by 2 and here the variable is an integer type, left hand side variable is an integer type, and here when we have say 9 by 2 but the left hand side integer is a float integer. So you will see this difference in working and the way in which you get the answer. I hope you basically got this important point with respect to these type conversions, and especially when you carry out the assignments with respect to integers and float. Thank you.